Imagine waking up to the news that the currency notes you've been holding for years are about to be transformed, that a government announcement has just laid out a clear, step-by-step path to potentially change their value and your financial future overnight. This isn't a drill, and it's not a rumor from some shady online forum. This is the precise moment the Iraqi Gazette, the official record of the Republic of Iraq, publishes a new procedure from the Central Bank of Iraq, and for dinar holders around the world, everything shifts. Your mind is immediately flooded with questions. Is this real? How do I verify it? And what do I need to do right now to prepare? The sheer volume of misinformation, the constant hype, and the deliberate fear-mongering in the dinar community have made it nearly impossible to separate fact from fiction, leaving many investors vulnerable to scams and heartbreaking disappointments. That ends today, because in this video, we are going to build your foundation from the ground up, starting with the absolute bedrock of truth. Understanding what the Iraqi Gazette and the Central Bank of Iraq actually are, how they function, and why they are the only two sources you should ever truly trust. Let's be brutally honest. The Central Bank of Iraq isn't a mysterious entity. It is Iraq's sovereign central bank, tasked with an incredibly complex mission to maintain domestic price stability and to foster a stable and competitive financial system. Think about the enormity of that task for a moment. This is an institution grappling with decades of economic challenges, from the impacts of war and sanctions to the modern pressures of oil dependency and the need to build international confidence. Its policies are not made on a whim. They are deliberated, drafted, and released through official channels, and their primary goal is the economic health of Iraq itself, not the speculative dreams of foreign currency holders. Every monetary policy change, every amendment to exchange regulations, every single official step is documented and published in the Iraqi Gazette. The Gazette is the legal newspaper of the government. It's the Iraqi equivalent of the official Federal Register in the United States. If a law, regulation, or official procedure is not published here, it does not carry the force of law. It is that simple. This is your first and most powerful filter against misinformation. When someone tells you a revaluation is imminent, your first question must always be, show me the Gazette notice. If they can't, you know you're dealing with speculation at best, and a deliberate falsehood at worst. Now let's talk about what these institutions have actually been focused on, because it reveals the true story and prepares you for what a genuine, legitimate procedure would look like. The CBI has been actively working on a strategic plan for years, one that often gets wildly misrepresented online. This plan involves the potential redenomination or deletion of zeros from the Iraqi dinar. This is a technical process used by countries experiencing hyperinflation to simplify accounting and transactions, like when Turkey introduced the new lira or when Zimbabwe did away with its trillion-dollar notes. The key thing to understand is that this is primarily a change of face value, not necessarily an increase in real value. Think of it as a stock split. If you have 1 million dinars and 3 zeros are removed, you would then hold 1,000 new dinar notes. The value of your holding in relation to goods and services should, in theory, remain the same, though the government would hope the stability and confidence from such a move would lead to broader economic gains and a stronger currency over time. This is a massive, logistically daunting undertaking that requires a robust banking system, public trust, and years of preparation. It is not something that happens secretly or is announced on a random blog. Any authentic move towards this goal will be preceded by a flood of official communications, pilot programs, and educational campaigns from the CBI itself, all meticulously recorded in the Gazette. This is the reality-based framework you must adopt. By understanding the real players, their real goals, and their only official method of communication, you instantly inoculate yourself against 99% of the nonsense circulating online. You are no longer a passive dreamer. You are an informed observer, and that is the most powerful position you can be in. Now that you can distinguish the official voice of the Central Bank of Iraq from the chaotic noise of the internet, the next critical skill you must master is how to dissect an actual Iraqi Gazette announcement itself, because not every document posted there will be the life-changing cash-out notice you might be hoping for. And understanding the hierarchy and language of these releases will save you from catastrophic misinterpretations and emotional whiplash. Let's take a recent real-world example that perfectly illustrates this point and provides a masterclass in what to look for. In 2023, the Central Bank of Iraq issued instructions, published in the Gazette, regarding the exchange and replacement of damaged or unfit currency notes. This is a routine operational procedure that every central bank in the world follows to maintain the integrity of its physical currency in circulation. The procedure outlines specific, practical steps. Citizens or banks could submit damaged dinar notes, the central bank would verify their authenticity, and upon confirmation, they would be replaced with new, fit notes of the exact same face value. This is a one-for-one swap, a maintenance activity, not a revaluation event. However, within hours of this notice being published, the online rumor mills exploded with sensational claims, twisting the straightforward language of replacement into a coded announcement for the long-awaited reinstatement of the dinar's value, preying on the hopes of those who didn't understand the context. This is the dangerous gap in knowledge that costs people their peace of mind and their money. So, how do you become your own analyst? First, you look for the intent and the outcome. A genuine revaluation or redenomination notice would have seismic implications. Its language would be about altering the monetary value of the currency itself, changing its exchange rate against the dollar, and redefining the entire nation's monetary base. It would be front-page news in major financial publications like the Financial Times and Bloomberg, and it would be accompanied by detailed implementation calendars for the entire banking sector. The damage note procedure, in stark contrast, was about maintaining the physical quality of the currency, ensuring that torn or burnt bills could be taken out of circulation and replaced, which has zero impact on the dinar's international exchange rate. The second filter is to examine the actors involved. A small-scale, consumer-facing procedure like replacing damaged notes is typically handled by individual bank branches and a specific department within the CBI. A large-scale monetary reform would involve the highest levels of government, the Prime Minister's office, the Ministry of Finance, the Parliament, and would be coordinated with international bodies like the International Monetary Fund. The scale of the actors tells you the scale of the event. The third and most crucial filter is the specific terminology. You must become fluent in the dry, legalistic language of central banking. Words like redenomination, revaluation, monetary reform, legal tender status, and exchange rate regime have precise technical meanings. The absence of these words in a notice about mutilated currency is your biggest clue that you're looking at a routine operational memo, not a historic financial reset. This analytical process is your shield. It transforms you from a passive consumer of information into an active, critical investigator. When you see the next big announcement being hyped in a private group, you won't get excited. You will feel a sense of calm control. You will open the actual Gazette PDF, you will read the title and the objectives, you will identify the key verbs. Is it replacing, exchanging, or is it revaluing? And you will see the true, often mundane picture. This is how you stay grounded. The Central Bank of Iraq's primary focus, as evidenced by their public statements and actual policies, remains on achieving domestic monetary stability, controlling inflation, and weaning the Iraqi economy off its dependence on the US dollar for internal transactions, a monumental task that is their daily reality. Their communications reflect these ongoing battles, not the speculative fantasies of foreign investors. By aligning your expectations with the CBI's actual stated goals and learning to read their official documents with a critical, educated eye, you place yourself in the small minority of dinar holders who operate on fact, not faith, and that is the only sustainable path forward in this complex and often misleading information landscape. So, you now possess the two most powerful tools for this journey: the knowledge of who to trust and the ability to decipher what they are actually saying. This final step is about transforming that knowledge into a concrete, safe, and proactive plan that prepares you for any legitimate future opportunity while protecting you from the very real dangers that exist in the present. Let's be unequivocally clear. The landscape surrounding the Iraqi dinar is not just filled with hopeful speculation. It is an actively mined field of sophisticated scams designed to exploit your anticipation. We've established that any real procedure will come from the Gazette, but what happens when counterfeit notices are created, or when official documents are deliberately misrepresented by bad actors to create a false sense of urgency? This is where your defense must be ironclad. Your preparation begins not with buying more currency, but with a deliberate and systematic approach to information hygiene. First, you must personally and regularly monitor the primary sources. Do not rely on a third party to interpret or deliver the news to you. Bookmark the official websites of the Central Bank of Iraq and the Iraqi Gazette in your browser. Make it a weekly habit to check them yourself, even if you don't read Arabic, because modern browsers can translate pages instantly. This one habit alone will make you more informed than 95% of people in the community, because you are going straight to the well, not drinking from a muddy stream that may be poisoned. Second, you must conduct a brutal audit of your information diet. Leave every social media group, unsubscribe from every YouTube channel, and ignore every email newsletter whose primary content is hype, deadline predictions, or constant anger at so-called gatekeepers. That entire ecosystem is designed to keep you in a state of emotional agitation, because an agitated person is not a logical person, and an illogical person is an easy target. Replace that noise with credible, dry, and boring financial news sources that cover the entire Middle East, like Reuters or Bloomberg, because when a significant monetary event happens in Iraq, they will report it factually, without the hysterical commentary. Third, understand the practical logistics of a potential event. If a legitimate redenomination or exchange were to be announced, it would almost certainly be conducted through official banking channels, not through a private website or a dealer in a hotel room. This means your number one priority for preparedness is ensuring your holding is legitimate and that you have a relationship with a reputable, well-established bank that can guide you through any authenticated process. The stories you hear about people being sold worthless, demonetized currency, or elaborate forgeries are heartbreaking, and they happen precisely because individuals bypass this fundamental principle of safety. And finally, you must make a philosophical shift in your mindset. Stop waiting for the RV. That passive posture puts your life on hold and makes you vulnerable to every promise. Instead, live your life now. Build your financial health now. Invest in your education, your skills, and your well-being now. If a future opportunity arises from Iraq's genuine economic progress, you will be in a stronger position to benefit from it. But you will have lost nothing, because you will have built a fulfilling life in the meantime, free from the toxic cycle of hope and despair. You are no longer a spectator in this story. You are the informed, cautious, and intelligent director of your own financial future. You have the map and the compass to navigate this terrain. The responsibility now rests on your shoulders to use them. Do not give that power away to anyone else ever again. And this is where I need you to take a specific action. If this video has provided you with clarity and a sense of calm control, then I need you to share it. Share it with one person you know in the dinar community who is struggling, who is confused, who is being taken advantage of. Be the person who offers them a lifeline out of the confusion. And then subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because our mission here is not to hype or to sell you dreams, but to continue building this library of factual, data-driven analysis that empowers you with knowledge. The next time a big announcement hits the rumor mill, come here first, and we will break it down together with clarity and truth side by side. Your journey to becoming an empowered investor starts with a single step, and you've just taken it. Now go and put this knowledge into practice.